Kathy again, and I'm going to be doing an object lesson with you right at this time. Today we're going to discover that Jesus' power takes action, and by that I mean action on our part. To get started, we're going to talk about God sightings. How did you see God at work last week? For me, I think it was reading about all the wonderful things that people are doing around the world during this time that we need to be stuck in the house, and it can be difficult. Even right here in Canoe, we had a bunch of cars go by. They were all decorated up with balloons and posters, and they were honking, and it was the teachers from the Canoe School, and they had signs that said, "We miss you kids and hope you're doing well." I just think that kind of thing is just so neat. There was one little video clip Danielle showed me of down in the United States of a boy, and it was his birthday, and of course he can't have a birthday party with his friends over, and they can't go out. And so they had contacted the police, so a whole bunch of police cars came. I think there was maybe 10 of them, and they all parked in front of his house. They came with their lights going and their sirens, and then they all got on their speakers and they sang happy birthday to him, and then drove off again. And he was just so excited. It was so special, and I think it's God that puts those kind of things into people's hearts, and to do kind things for each other at this time. So that to me was the God sightings. So I'm hoping that you saw God working at work this week, and I'm hoping that you'll think about it, and maybe you can even tell us about a few of those during the Zoom time. I love watching for God, and I also love exploring God's amazing word with you. We're going to try to balance on one foot. So everyone can see how long you can balance on one foot while looking all around the room. Don't stop turning your head. And then looking around the room, and try to keep your balance. And just keep looking all around the room. And I'm terrible at this. We have fun even with yoga doing this. I can never do this. All right. Okay, so that's about how well I did. I don't know how well you did. I did keep my foot up, but it wasn't too great there. There was not great balance at all. That was really hard. And that made me feel like I can't balance very well. But let me show you a little sciencey fun trick to balance better. Pick something at eye level to focus on. Okay, I'm going to focus just above Danielle's head would be straight ahead for me. So something straight ahead, one thing, nothing that's moving around, just one thing. Could be a picture on the wall, could be a door, whatever. Pick out one thing and you're going to just focus on that, okay? And then you're going to stand on one foot, focus on that, and then hold one earlobe. These are your earlobes, so just hold one of them, either the left or the right, with your thumb and finger, like this. And then we're going to see how long we can do it. So, whoops. Here we go again. So I'm going to focus just above Danielle's head. I'm going to lift up my leg, and I'm going to hold this. And it just makes a huge difference. And actually, when I feel like I'm going to start to tip over, if I pull on my ear, it feels like I'm straightening myself up, which seems really weird. But I feel like I could stand here a long, long time, and you can see I'm not flipping back and forth and all over the place. So I wonder how it's working for you. Maybe you can show us during Zoom how this works for you. I could stay balanced for a whole lot longer. I could have stood there actually for a long time, which is my leg probably would have gotten sore, but I don't think my balance would have gotten off. By focusing on one thing, it was much easier to balance. That reminds me how focusing on Jesus can help us stand strong. And our ears help provide balance, so holding your ear is a really neat trick to help you balance. And that reminds me to listen for what Jesus is asking me to do. So when you're thinking about it, sometimes your ears are for listening. So if you're listening to hear what Jesus wants us to do. Today's Bible story comes from the book of John, chapter 5, verses 1 to 9. You can read it later. I read it before. It's a good story. You should read it. And you should always do that anyways to make sure that what we're telling you is true. The story starts in Jerusalem, near a place called the Pool of Bethesda. This pool had hundreds of sick people lying nearby waiting for healing. Okay, why don't you guys just all lie down on the floor? Make some room and lay down on the floor, okay? Go ahead. Everyone lay on the floor. I'll wait. Everybody laying down? Okay. Are you comfy? Get comfy, because you're going to be laying there for a while I tell this story. So just relax and rest while I tell you this. You have to lie there just like that until I tell you what has happened. So you can't be moving around too much. Just lay quietly. Well, the people lying by the pool weren't so comfy because the ones that were lying by the pool were all sick. The Bible said that some of them were blind, some couldn't walk, some were paralyzed. They all were sick. Why were they lying by this particular pool? Well, they believed that every so often an angel of the Lord would come and stir up the water. and the first one to get into the pool after the water had swirled would be healed. So they laid there and waited and waited. Okay, now I want you to do jumping jacks while you wait, but without getting up or moving your legs. Okay? So do jumping jacks right now, but without getting up and without moving your legs or arms. That's pretty frustrating, isn't it? Because you can do it in your mind, but you're not able to do it at all. Well, one day Jesus was walking by the pool and he saw a man lying there among all the other people. Jesus knew this man had been sick for 38 years. He couldn't walk. 38 years, that's a long, long time to be sick. That's older than Danielle is. Jesus asked the man, "Would you like to get well?" The man answered, "I can't, sir, for I have no one to put me in the pool when the water bubbles. Someone else always gets there ahead of me." So he would wait and wait and wait, and when it finally bubbled, but because he couldn't walk and he didn't have anybody by him that could help, somebody always got there before him. Now the man said, "I can't." I seem to hear myself saying "I can't" a lot lately. With this coronavirus situation, I can't have lunch with my friends, and I love doing that. Getting together with my friends at a different little restaurant or a coffee shop and visiting, I love doing that. Haven't been able to do that since this coronavirus. What are some of the things that you can't do during this virus situation? Quick, everyone call out things that you can't do during this difficult time. Okay, we all seem to be limited by what we can't do right now. But let's get back to this Bible story. Here's this man lying near the pool with no one to help him get into the water. You try it. Without moving, I want you to go to the kitchen sink and rinse your hands. Then all your troubles will be over. Can you do it? Of course not, because you can't move. Think how frustrating that would feel for this man who just wanted to get to the pool. You imagine for 38 years lying there day in and day out, waiting to get in that pool to be healed, and it never worked out. I mean, that wouldn't just be frustrating. I'm sure he was angry and sad. That would just be so difficult and be really boring, I think, at times too. Then along comes Jesus asking the man if he wants to be healed. But instead of saying yes, he says, "I can't." Thankfully, Jesus didn't leave it at that. He said, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and walk." And instantly the man was healed. He didn't even have to go to the water. Jesus had healed him. "Quick, I want you to jump up." All right, jump up. Now you can jump up. Doesn't that feel good? The man rolled up his sleeping mat and began to walk. Did you see what happened? Jesus healed him, but the man had to take action too. So now you can walk too. Go ahead and march in place. March, march, march. Get all those little wigglies out of you. Good. And in a second, I want you to walk around the room and talk about the things that you can do during this difficult time. For me, I can still call my friends. I can't go out for lunch with them, but that doesn't mean I can't phone and talk to them over the telephone, so I can still have a visit. I bet you came up with some great ideas. Way to go. Sometimes it's easy to make excuses about what Jesus wants us to do. You might think you're too shy or you're too young, but Jesus calls us to take action, and with his power and help, there are plenty of ways that we can take action right now.
This week, how can you encourage each other to have an I can attitude instead of an I can't? Jesus' power takes action. We can always turn to Jesus for help when we're feeling an I can't attitude. His power will help us take action and encourage each other to stay positive and do things for him. And those good things can start right here in your own family. Just like we're learning today, Jesus' power takes action. So we're going to talk about that for a minute. What might Jesus be calling your family to do for other people right now? How can you take action instead of saying, "I can't"? Grab your paper and pen and have someone take notes while you make a plan. Maybe you could make an encouraging sign to hang in front of your window. Or maybe you could use chalk to make sidewalk art for people to enjoy. Or leave notes for your neighbors, or call a nursing home, or write a letter to a friend. I'm sure you'll come up with some great ideas. Jesus' power takes action. And once you've come up with a plan to take action and change those I can'ts into I cans. We're going to close by thinking of ways your family member have taken action for each other. Maybe you've helped your mom make dinner. Or maybe you helped your brother with his math homework. I'm so glad that Jesus' power takes action and that Jesus is always there to help us. We're going to pray. Dear Lord, Thank you for loving us and helping us take action for you. Please be with our family during this difficult time, and please be with every person suffering with this virus right now. Thank you for never leaving us. We love you. In your name, amen. And now it's time to add a picture to your thankful journal. This week, draw a picture of something you're thankful you can do right now. Put today's date on your picture so you can look back at your journal later. You can draw that when this video is over. So, thanks for joining us again, and we want to see you next week. And we also want you to spend the week looking for God sightings. When you find a God sighting, feel free to draw it in your journal. I can't wait for you to share your God sightings next week. See you then, and remember, Jesus' power takes action.
Isaiah 41:10.